You're watching BreakThru News.
I'm Charlotte Thun-Hohenstein, and you're watching BreakThru News on BTR Today. Today we're talking about athletes in business, how increasing their influence in athletic companies is not only resulting in better products, but empowering the athletes themselves. Joining us today is Betsy Flood and Mel Lawrence, both from Picky Bars, an energy bar company, and Mel also runs professionally for Oiselle, which is a women's running apparel company. So both Oiselle and Picky Bars seem to be companies created by athletes for athletes. I know Picky Bars was created by one of the most decorated distance runners of all time, Lauren Fleshman, in 2010 when she had an injury. Oiselle was created by Sally Bergson, also an extremely successful runner. How often, Betsy, do you think the wellness of the athlete is overlooked with bigger sports brands, selling either clothes or nutrition bars just to turn a profit? Do you think there's something special about these companies and what they're trying to do?
I think definitely there's something really special about both these companies, and even the way that Oiselle brings on athletes, they don't necessarily bring on someone who's just running really successfully at that time. They'll look at what everyone's been through and their personality, and they just want to find really good quality people, and they care about them, and they want to do everything to ensure that those people are happy, and they create a community for those people. And it's so much more. I feel like almost in a way when you're a part of both communities, it's not performance-based at all. It's more just the joy of being able to find that community, and through the happiness of being associated with them, then people will perform and do well because they want to do it in return.
So Mel, you are a professional runner and you run for Oiselle's team, which is called Haute Volée, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges of just being a professional athlete, and do you find that comfort in working with Oiselle, like what Betsy was just mentioning?
Challenges. I think that's a hard question. Obviously, you feel pressure to perform because you don't want to let your sponsor down, and it's a little different with Oiselle, and in the sense that they just, if you're happy, they're going to be happy. That's kind of like how my parents are. They don't really understand running, but if I'm happy, they're happy. And obviously, Oiselle understands running, of course, but at the end of the day, they just want to see you happy, and I think that's the biggest challenge, but...
That sounds like it's quite unique, though, about Oiselle to not be putting pressure on you just for results. I mean, is that something that you think, would you say that professional athletes in general have to deal with that pressure in terms of finding sponsors?
I definitely think so. I think that's a really big part of it. A lot of times it's written in contracts. I don't see tons of people's contracts because it's a pretty individualized thing, but a lot of times written in there is, you have to perform this many times, and if you get third place at this meet, you get this, but if you get fourth, you don't get this, and we're actually going to take away this. And so I think it's a lot of pressure and a lot of stress, and every company is different, and every athlete's different, and every contract's different. So
Betsy, it seems like with both Picky Bars and Oiselle, what's special about both of them as well is that they're involving a lot of athletes directly in the businesses themselves, in running the businesses. I know Picky Bars has only hired athletes, and this seems to be empowering the athletes in a different way beyond just maybe kinder, more supportive sponsorships. Is this do you think this is deliberate with a sense of helping each other out and wanting to bring on board athletes, or is it just accidental that you're involving so many athletes? What's going on, do you think?
Yeah, so it hasn't at all been on purpose that they've hired only athletes. It's just how it's turned out. But I think that when someone is a high-end athlete for so long, you gain this very unique pool of knowledge, and just the experience of going to the competitions and being on a team, and you just have, it's rare to be able to have your whole life be revolved around athletics up until a certain point. So though it wasn't deliberate, I think it really values and adds to the environment of teamwork and working hard and living a certain lifestyle and being able to relate to everyone and have knowledge that pertains specifically to those sports.
Is there a danger, and this, either one of you, because I know Betsy, you used to run professionally, Mel, you're still running professionally. Do you think there's a danger, though, in getting distracted with being involved in a business? Might it take away from your training, or is it like acting where everyone has their day job and it's really just a matter of what your day job is?
This is a question that's actually come up a lot lately, just in random conversations, and I think that everybody's different. For me, I actually really like the outside distraction from running. I love running, and it's like one of my jobs, but I also think that I'm more successful when I have other things to focus on. So it's nice to like focus on running for X hours a day and then just kind of get away from that for a few hours and go do something else and like focus my energy in something else. But there are people who are very successful when all they do is eat, sleep, and breathe that specific sport. So for me, I really enjoy that extra distraction.
Yeah, and off what Mel said, running is a great sport, and I guess there are some people at the top who don't have to have jobs, but it's not the highest paying, most profitable thing. So most professional runners are doing some other type of work in one way or another. So I think especially being able to work for a company that really supports what you're doing and allows you to travel to competitions and get all your training in is like very special opportunity.
Well, we were going to take a very quick break for a brief excerpt from this week's episode of Serious Business featuring bluffing. We're back with Betsy and Mel talking about how two companies are helping to empower athletes. Betsy, do you find that there are skills that translate, because we were talking earlier about actually hiring athletes in these businesses, do you find that there are skills that translate well from being an athlete into helping to run a business?
Yeah, I think there are definitely a lot of skills that translate in that way. When you're an athlete at the college level, or I guess any level, you're part of a team and you have to really learn how to work with those people and kind of sacrifice some of the things that you want in the process of success for everyone. And obviously that plays really well into any business, learning to cooperate and have teamwork and listen to everyone else.
Even as a runner, because it would seem like running compared to other sports, which are explicitly team sports, is more solitary, no? But you still feel like you're part of a team? Or...
I guess running, for me, I've always been part of a team, and yeah, it is a very solitary sport in competition. It's just you, but I think it still is a teamwork too, and you're all out there doing it together, and you learn patience for other people, and I think you learn that not every day is going to be awesome, but you just got to keep going, and that success happens over a long time. It's not something that's immediate. And yeah, even though running isn't something I'm pursuing anymore, when I look back on my life up to this point, the most valuable workplace or life goals and lessons I've learned so far have come from running and being part of a team.
I know we were mentioning earlier the sense of community around these brands. How much of a part is that, even with Picky Bars? I know there's the Picky Club. Why is it so important, Mel, do you think?
To have a community?
Around the brand, because it seems to be something that really sets apart both Oiselle and Picky Bars from other companies.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it just makes it a lot more enjoyable and fun. And you oftentimes, when you see someone wearing like a Picky wristband, you can immediately be like, hey, I don't know you, but we have this connection based off of this, and it's a small enough company still where it's very intimate in that sense. And same with Oiselle. Like the other day I was running and I saw this lady wearing basically the exact same outfit I was, just different colors, and I was like, hey, but like I think she was just kind of like, I just saw this outfit and realized.
Hey, hi.
But I don't know, I just think it makes it more fun and enjoyable and intimate, and going to races, it's like I was just at Peachtree almost 2 weeks ago, and I was there with Lauren, but also the Oiselle girls, and I've met them already, but I just feel like it's just such a family already with that, and you have that support as well as competing against each other. You still want to see each other succeed, and I think that's really important.
So what does it take to be part of Team Oiselle? Because I know there's the professional team, right? But then you also have a giant non-professional team. What do you have to do to become part of that?
Each one.
Can anyone just apply?
They just changed it.
So they used to have the volley and the hope volley. And the Hope Volley was their, and still remains to be their top elite group, and that's, you want to be like trying to get to the Olympics, or trying to be the best in your event in the country, and competing at all of these big races are something that you're doing for your profession. And then the volley, which they've now opened up to include the flock, which I believe anyone can be a part of the flock. And this group, you just pay a fee to be in, and that fee goes to support the girls that are competing at the professional level, and it's a small amount, and I think that it allows, which is great, anyone to be part of that community, so it's not exclusive, and then you can all support each other and just race in the Oiselle jersey to feel like you're part of something bigger.
Well, it sounds like a really nice arrangement. We're going to have to stop there. Thank you so much, Betsy and Mel, for joining me today. Share your thoughts with us on Twitter at BreakThru Radio. We'll be right back in a moment after this quick excerpt from a special episode of Live Studio featuring the Stargazer Lilies. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm Charlotte Thun-Hohenstein, and this is BreakThru News, your window into today. Be sure to check out breakthrouradio.com through the weekend for our continued Mashup Week coverage, including a closer look at an experiment to craft the world's favorite and least favorite pop song. That's it for what's breaking through the news today. Tell us what's breaking through your world on Twitter at BreakThru News. I'm Charlotte Thun-Hohenstein, and thank you for joining us.